5, 6, 7.
My name is Kent Rogers, and I'm with the Loving Arms Mission. And the Loving Arms Mission is a group which aids children in Nepal and Kenya who are orphans and gives them a loving home and family. When I was in college, I had a very strong calling. While I was reading the words of Jesus, I had a very powerful spiritual experience that lasted 2 weeks. After I felt this calling, I didn't know exactly what direction to go into. I withdrew from theological school and began working at a nursing home because these were people who needed help. But I did wonder, why would God give me such a powerful calling to be an activities coordinator? Almost exactly a year after that calling, that a couple came to Bryn Athyn, and they were trying to drum up support for a new church orphanage in Nepal. It would be like a family with a mom and a dad and 10 children, and he described what life in Nepal was like for these orphans, and I remember it brought tears to my eyes just listening to him, and I knew instantly I really wanted to help this cause. So I immediately agreed to help fundraise for their cause, to build a family-like children's home in Nepal. And with the help of 10 other people from the Bryn Athyn community and a lawyer who was willing to work pro bono, we created the Loving Arms Mission, which is a not-for-profit fundraising organization. And immediately people began to pour in support, both emotionally but also financially. Our fundraisers were well attended, and people seemed very enthusiastic about this idea of a new church home in Nepal. Along the way, the original couple who were going to run the home, for various reasons it wasn't going to work out. And yet we had all this money, so we had the dilemma, what are we going to do with all the money we had raised? And after deliberating and trying a few other options, I said, I'll go to Nepal, and in 3 years I'll get a Nepali staff set up and register our orphanage or a children's home with the Nepali government, and then come back home. Going to Nepal was more challenging and difficult than anything I could ever have imagined. I hope that it's the hardest thing I'll ever have done. Not only was I withdrawn from my normal culture and all my friends and all my family and placed into an environment that had a different language, different cultural norms, different ways of interacting. And then on top of all these things, I was now finding myself in charge of running a children's home, which was in itself challenging. And on top of that, caring for the children itself. There's the organizational aspect, and then of course the personal aspect of trying to give these children the best lives they could.
It must have been hard for him to leave his family, his life, and come to a very new, come and start a very new life. So, and he has done all these great things. So I'm really grateful for him too. Yeah, and it's even though I say more, it's less to appreciate what he has done. So I love him too.
Like Abraham, certainly I did feel called to leave my family and home of origin and become a stranger in a strange land. But I don't think that that is a unique experience. I think that's the human experience, that we are all called by God's love being implanted in our heart to expand out of ourselves, to learn how to grow in love and reach out to other people. And for whatever reason, sometimes that's a dramatic, outwardly dramatic looking experience, and sometimes it's not so dramatic looking, but it's the same human experience we all go through as the Lord's love changes who we are and causes us to evolve and to leave the land of our own selfishness and to reach out into the land of learning how to love other people as best we can.